We're going to go over some basic strokes for calligraphy that will help you get better at calligraphy. I'm using a Rudio paper pad. This is a blank one, but they also make ones with lines and ones with little dots. I find this to be the best paper to practice on because it has kind of a waxy finish. But if you don't have this, laser inkjet paper works well too because it has that waxy finish. So I'm just getting started with, I'm using my blue pumpkin nib today. And you could also use a Nico G nib or whatever nib you like to write with. And then I just have some black ink. The first stroke we're going to do is just straight down. And you're just pressing down. And this might seem really, really simple. It's a simple stroke. It's just a straight line. And since it's our downstroke, it's going to be thicker. Because with calligraphy, your downstrokes are always thick and your upstrokes are thin. Now, it looks simple, but what happens is you need to be able to master holding your hand really still and creating a straight line. So you might find that you're kind of shaking a little bit, or maybe you're losing ink, you're losing pressure. This is all muscle memory that you'll build up by doing this. If you did this for 10 minutes a day, I promise you would see a difference in a month at your calligraphy, maybe even after a week. So we're just doing straight lines. See, even my lines aren't perfectly straight. And you can keep doing this as long as you want, but I just want to show you the basic strokes today. Then what I'm going to have you do is you're going to go up. This is going to be a lot harder because our upstrokes are really light. So I'm lightly drawing up. Now you might be saying, I never do a line like this in calligraphy because I'm always working at an angle. Yes, you are working at an angle, but this is helping you to get more control over your nib. So you might find again that you're maybe shaking a little bit. Your ink isn't like equal all the way through the line. The more you practice this, the better you'll get. Okay, so you can just keep going with that. And then just a straight across line. And I like to just do it right over this. No need to make another line. This is just all about learning how to hold our pen and building that muscle memory. The next stroke we're going to do is kind of a little squiggly line. So I'm going down, up, down. Down, up, down. And this is heavy stroke, light stroke, heavy stroke. Heavy, light, heavy. Really simple, almost looks like a little wave. You can make yours more rounded if you want. Oops, I lost ink. Or you can make it more like a wave. If you hear that background noise, my dog is chewing on her bone. It's the only way I can distract her so I can do these videos. So this is another thing that just helps you gain that control over your nib. And also reinforces that your downstrokes are heavy and your upstrokes are light. And I lost ink there, so I'm just going to fill it in. Next, we are going to do a circle, or a half circle, I'm sorry. So almost like a C. So it's light, heavy downstroke, light. Light, heavy downstroke, light. Calligraphy can be so relaxing, especially because you kind of just zone out and focus on your strokes and the shapes that you're making. And then if we want, what we can do is turn this into a O. So it's light, heavy, heavy, light. This is how I do my O's. If you do your O's another way, feel free to do them the way you do them. And if you're not writing as fast as me, that's totally okay. It doesn't mean that you're better or you're worse than me. Everybody writes differently. You will find that you usually speed up your calligraphy as you get better at it. However, I know a lot of people that just write slower in calligraphy, and it's beautiful. In life in general, I'm just really quick about everything because I don't have that much patience. So I always tend to do things faster, but you can get better work or work that's just as good doing it at your speed. Now we are going to do some upside down U's, or kind of like an N, but not exactly. And just like this. So thin line, heavy line. Sometimes I feel like when I slow down, I lose ink. So if I go really slow, I don't know, it's just tough for me. But do what feels right to you. And these little shapes are going to make us better. So if this happens, you guys probably know what to do, but it just means that your ink ran out. I just come back in here and kind of fill it in. Or sometimes, let me see if I can get it to do that again. Or sometimes what you can do is come back and fill it in just like normal. There we go, okay. So I just make sure you don't have too much ink because you'll get a big blob. But I kind of trace it, I'm not touching it, and then I pull down. Now we're going to do the same shape but the other way. So the front line is going to be heavy and the back line, or the line on the right, is going to be light because it's heavy downstroke, light upstroke. Heavy, light, heavy, light. And the style of calligraphy I do is modern calligraphy. It doesn't follow strict rules, except of course you have to follow that your downstrokes are heavy and your upstrokes are light. But I don't do anything like copperplate or Spacerian. Those are really cool, but they require you to follow a lot of rules. And I'm just not quite there yet. I tried to learn copperplate, but it was frustrating for me. And then the last little kind of shape that we're gonna do is just a slanted, I'm gonna go up and heavy down. Almost like you could make an S with this, but I just want you to get used to a side angle of a light line and then a heavy angle coming down. So we could make an S. The key to calligraphy is practice. I was so awful at it when I first started. I really don't think that anybody just picks up a dip pen and is amazing right away. Although some people, it doesn't take them as long to get good, but practice, practice, practice. Once I started practicing consistently, I saw a big change in my calligraphy. So make sure you do that if you want to get better at it. Okay, so those are just some really simple shapes and exercises that you guys can do. If you practice these, I promise you will see yourself getting a lot better. If you have any questions about calligraphy or would like a certain video for calligraphy, like if you're struggling with something or you feel like you need instruction somewhere, please let me know in the comments. I would love to make that video for you. Have an awesome day.